All right, good afternoon and welcome. Friday, January 19, 2024. I want to talk about zero DTE trade that we did today and just give a little bit of my experience or feedback as to why I traded it. You can read as members, you know how I trade zero DTE for the most part. And essentially what I look for is I'm looking for something that potentially gets overextended in one direction or another. So I'm looking at MACD and RSI, but I'm also looking to see if something potentially breaches an overbought or an oversold level. So let's just jump into today's trades. And when I'm trading, I'm typically looking at two different things here. So let me see if I can update these just for the time where I was trading today. All right. So here's what we were looking at this morning when SPX opened up on the day. We obviously did gap up on the day, so there's a pretty nice gap on the session. We rode higher. Now, this initial gap up moved over the 3 ATR, which is this white band here, and again, the white band here. Let me remove the Bollinger Bands here because that just adds confusion for you. All right, so we gapped up well over the 3 ATR bands. If we move over the 3 ATR bands early and quick, I'm typically going to try to go the opposite direction. Now, you can ride the Bollinger Band, or I'm sorry, the 3 ATR higher if it's at a 45-degree angle. You can certainly ride this higher, and you can see that today we rode it the entire flipping day. Okay, so if it's going to be at this angle and just heading higher, you can still trade it until it starts to flatten and you go below. Okay, that's where I think you can make your moves. But again, I'm looking at two different time frames. So the first time frame here is the 15. Okay, you jumped up here at the open. First 15 minutes, we jumped all the way up high, and then we came back. So you can see it here a little bit better on the 3-minute. Gapped up, ran, and then we sold off during that first 15-minute span. Okay, so these 5 bars here is the 15-minute span. We came all the way back down here by about 9:45 or so. So by 9:45, we were back inside the 3 ATR level. But I'm also looking at RSI and MACD here as well. So I'm just trying to explain a little bit about this trade. All right. We were seeing an increase all the way up until through 9:45. As the market started to reverse and head higher here, you can see MACD was climbing. Okay. If we look at the squeeze, nothing to gain here. Stochastic momentum had pulled back, but not a whole lot. But RSI was red here, is over the 50. RSI was definitely moving higher and continued to move higher all the way up to 9:45. At 9:45, the next 15-minute, we started to sell off a bit towards 10 o'clock. So as this thing started to tip over, okay, we were overbought on RSI. We were over the 3 ATR here. MACD was still moving higher, but then the next candle here on the 10 o'clock was actually a little weaker candle. So RSI was tipping over. MACD was tipping over a fraction. The market had started to, right around the 10 o'clock, was going to pull over, but we were overextended here. So as we're overextended, and I think the best thing to do is just look at the 3-minute here, hold back inside, okay? Did not trigger a PSR bearish signal, still bullish, and we started to move higher. And as we moved higher and higher, all the way up to 9:51 on this trade, then the 9:54 higher, 9:57 higher, okay? 10 o'clock, we pierced it again to the upside. So 10 o'clock, we pierced the 3 ATR again to the upside, okay? As stochastic momentum was rolling over a bit and RSI was overbought, but not as high as the previous level. Even though we hit a new high, RSI was showing some divergence here. Okay. In short, I'm a reversion trader. I like reversion to the mean. I want to see something moving back towards, if it gets, back towards the mean. So if you get overextended, which is what we did here, okay, I'm going to actually go in the opposite direction with my call credit spread. Okay. I didn't want to put on a put credit spread here. This would have been the time to maybe do that, okay, as things were starting to fall. But I don't want to put on, personally, I'm not going to put on a put credit spread until RSI gets down to here. Okay. And not even here. I want to see it to the oversold levels down here. Now, stochastic momentum coming down here, that's one opportunity. Down here, another opportunity, and then we swing higher. Okay, this reversal here was another chance to get in on the day. This would have been a put credit spread. This would be a call credit spread. Okay, so the way I like to trade it, if I'm early, and I like to get in by about 10:30 at the latest, but 10 o'clock means I've seen the first 15 minutes. I can see if we're going to break out of that 15-minute range, which we did not. We came really close to it, but failed right at it and started to sell off. Okay, so this was when at 10:02 and 46 seconds this morning, I put on a call credit spread in the SPX. My standard setup is published in my trade plan of exactly how, what deltas I'm trading, my width, all of that. But I will put that trade on here, but I got a pretty good ways away. And I just not sure that on this, we're going to continue to go higher. Now, we obviously did continue to go higher on the day. However, my short strike would have been breached eventually here, but I put it on here. Okay. As stochastic momentum was tipping over, RSI was tipping over, and MACD was also tipping over, all at the same exact time. And we breached and started to come back inside. Okay, that's when I put it on. I was able to take this trade off for a 55% winner in 6 minutes, which means 2 more candles. Okay, by 10:06, by 10:08, technically here, I was out of the trade. So at the end of this candle here, okay, first candle is right, starts at that time. This candle started right at 10:06 and is going to end right around 10:09. Okay, as we were falling, reverted right back to the 21 here, and we were able to get out of this trade. I'd put an order in for roughly a 50%, really 55, the way I rounded it today. So 6 minutes on that trade, but this is why I took this trade today, is because MACD was falling, stochastic momentum was falling, RSI was overbought and potentially overdone here. And on the 15-minute, we were outside the 3 ATR, even though it was rising, which doesn't mean you're going to revert back inside. I felt confident enough that we were overbought early. It wasn't as steep as it became later in the day that we could go back inside. There's my philosophy. That's why I traded that today. I hope this helps and gives you a little bit of an insight as to how I trade 0 DTE a bit here. If you want the specifics, you can check the trade plan for entry and exits there. But these 3 ATR bands, I think they really can help your trades when you get outside of them, as long as it doesn't ride that band up on the entire day, which it did on the 15. But depending on your timing, we happen to time it exactly perfect today. We hit it right at the high of that time, and we managed to get out right at a big move down on the day. Hope that helps. Take care. Bye-bye.